Well, here we go. Episode 29 of the Hunting Landman podcast. As always, brought to you by Southern Ag Credit. They take great care of us, myself, my parents, me and Ryan with R&S Land Company, and our clients. I mean, they, we do as many deals with Southern Ag Credit as anybody. They have great products, great people. They get land. Check out Southern Ag Credit. I promise you won't be disappointed. Even when interest rates are high, they're still hard to beat. All right, this is episode 29. This is a first for the Hunting Landman podcast. We're going to be real quick. This is our second podcast of the day. We filmed one earlier, and I've been getting this question a lot, and this is fall food plots. And depending on where you're listening to this, we're in Southwest Mississippi. We have been dry for 6 weeks or so now. We've been in planting season for 6 weeks, but myself, I'm not saying I'm smart. I'm just saying I've been sitting on go waiting on what we've got tomorrow. We've got 70% chance of rain tomorrow, 50, 60% chance next Monday, and then some more in the 15-day forecast. That's what we need. A lot of people, I was at the co-op, and all up and down the road, you see the seed carts, people covering seeds, stuff like that. A lot of people are banking on this rain we're supposed to get tomorrow. So good Lord willing, y'all do the rain dance out there. We're going to get this rain. I get this question a lot. Slade, what do you plant? What do you like to plant? Where? And look, this stuff, first of all, is not rocket science. You make it way harder than it is. Ride by a farmer's big ryegrass field in the fall, and guess what's out there? A bunch of deer. Oh, deer don't like ryegrass. Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. Now, I'm going to dive straight into this. Let's just take, so my place is like the testing ground. So if I'm promoting a backwoods product, which is who we are, Backwoods Attractions, and look, Backwoods makes, I think, one of the top quality food plot products and feeds and minerals, things like that. Now, are there other companies that make great products? Absolutely. I'm not telling you there's not. I know a lot of the people who've been involved in making these seed blends. Some of the Goins brothers from Alabama, they hunt in the South like I do. They're killers. All the boys at Small Town, they're killers. They kill a lot of deer, and they wouldn't be making these products if they didn't believe in them. Now, they've got a lot of the similar products with different companies or whatever, but I'm going to tell you what I use and what I like and what I promote to my clients. Okay, let's take my place, for instance. All right, I have two destination fields in front of my house, or it's about 10 acres combined. And I will plant like a big 3, and then I've got some trophy acre and sugar rush out there. I'm going to go hand seed after I do with the big cart on some of those areas out there to look pretty down the driveway and stuff like that. And I can go take pictures in my pretty backwoods, and when I ride by it, and make me smile, even if I'm not hunting, and say, oh, look how good my food plot looks. Mm-hmm. All right, so around me, I have a lot of ryegrass, literally probably a couple hundred acres within a deer's home range right here in this area. So, if you don't have any competition, deer's going to come to ryegrass like crazy. Is it the best for them? No, not really, but, it works. And look, it comes up, and it can take deer pressure really well. Now, if a deer has a choice and all things remaining equal, he can go to the ryegrass field over here, or he can come eat what I planted in my food plots. So I planted Dixie 6. Dixie 6 is heavy on the wheat, got some oats, got some Ebalon rye, which is usually better than the rye that farmers plant. Got some peas, got some rape, got some clover. That clover is going to put nitrogen back into the soil. If you are going to plant anything like a cereal grain, like a ryegrass or wheat or oats, I always think you need to put some crimson clover or any type of clover back in there to put some nitrogen back in the soil. And if you don't get out there in a certain amount of time to put some nitrogen or something in there, or you don't, at least you will get some nitrogen in the soil. I bet you didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
Man, I'm teaching Caleb, my co-host, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, and look, I've done a little bit of everything. I've managed places and been on tractors since I was, 10, 12 years old doing this stuff. If you think you need to put 200 pounds of fertilizer, put 250. If you're going to spend the time to do it right. Like I said, I put the Dixie 6 out. I put 250 pounds of triple 13. I need a little to work on my pH a little bit, so I put a little bit of pelletized lime in there. I've got all new ground at my house, and I'm kind of doing pretty good until I've got, my place has got a bunch of concrete out in fields. This was an old Army base at one time, an old Army camp. And so, I'm still getting that soil back in good condition. Still got a couple stumps that were letting rot and things like that. Anyway, my food plots usually look real good. And if we get this rain tomorrow, they should look great. Now, the Dixie 6 being wheat, oats, rye, and peas, and rape, and crimson clover, it should be a better product than my neighbors who are feeding cows. And actually, they deer hunt over there too. Now, are my deer still going to go to that ryegrass field? 1,000,000%. A lot of them are going to go over there. Now, their preferred food source is going to be on me, but deer just do. I mean, they like different things. So we're going to have them anywhere. Now, I've got a pretty good little habitat and a lot of food for my 130 acres with 17 acres of food plots on 130 acres, including, with my house and all. So we keep a lot of food. Like I said, I'm going to go play a little bit and put a little bit of Trophy Acre and Sugar Rush out there. Also, what should you plant? Well, it has a lot to do with what works. And for me to tell you what works on your place, I don't know. I do know this. Down here in the South, where I hunt, not where you hunt, where I hunt, I can go plant Sugar Rush and things like that. And yes, the deer will eat the tops of the rape and turnips and sugar beets. But as far as eating the product under the ground, the turnips, the radishes, whatever under the ground, and never seen them do it. And I've seen it get really cold. They say, oh, it takes a good. I just never seen them do it here at home. Now, Missouri, where we hunt, I got videos, buddy, right now. It ain't even been cold yet. And I see it every year. What we saw in that video the other day, I see it every year. They'll pick up those big old, foot tall turnip leaves out of there and get that turnip, and they'll put it in their mouth, baseball size, and shave that thing down with their teeth. They just love them. I mean, like Ryan Wascom had 30 plus deer in that was a Sugar Rush field the other day, and we've had very little rain, and it is doing exceptional. So, depending on where you hunt, like where we hunt, and everything up in our Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, I know Cody and them have some really good luck with rape and turnips and things up in Iowa. Now, I think down here, rape doesn't really produce a product in the ground. They like the tops, and I think it's a good variety. I think they like. Now, Ryan Wascom, 25 miles from here, he planted like a 7-way mix one time. I forget what it's called, what he planted, maybe Decked Out or something at over in Amite County, and he had deer just wearing it out, all of it, and not the turnips, but all the leaves and stuff. So it's different in your area. If you've got a 1 acre food plot and you say, I want to have a good food plot, but I'd like to test some stuff. Put out your big 3 and maybe some clover in it, and then maybe on one edge or one line through the middle, put some Trophy Acre or something like that. See what works for you. You can put a camera on it, you can watch it with your eyes and see what the deer do different times of year. So, you can play with this stuff, and it's fun. I don't know. I like playing with it and feeding them and doing that as much as I like hunting. But, everywhere is going to work different. If you said, Slade, I'm in Southwest Mississippi or anywhere in the South, I want a good food plot. I want it to be green, and I don't want a lot of headache with it. Big 3 with clover. Easy. Ryegrass, wheat, oats with some clover in it. Now, it's going to be a little more expensive, but a better product will be the white clovers. The crimson clovers are just going to be an annual. They're going to come in the spring and then be done. The white clovers, the Ladino clovers, are going to be, go throughout the year. And if you have your pH right, you'll have a food plot all year, with good rain and stuff like that. So if you don't have a whole lot to plant, got a little more budget, big 3 with white clover, I really like. They got a big 5 of white clover too. But you can't go wrong with ryegrass, wheat, and oats. They coming. They coming, bro. And, of course, if you're like us and you got feeders in every field, they really like that too. Yep. But even deer are browsers. Deer eat everything. They'll eat gum tree limbs. They eat everything they just like. So it's good to have a variety out there. The main thing I can preach about this stuff, it's not rocket science. First of all, You want to have something green out there for them to eat. I don't overthink it. Something that I do different. Now, some people will call me crazy. Something that I do different. I rarely cover seed. Why do you say? Well, I usually don't plant till a day or two before the rain, just like I do now. Let God do his thing. Let the rain beat the seed. And I don't, like today, me and Caleb rode in the field. I made sure there wasn't a bunch of crows or doves out there eating my wheat seed, and there wasn't. So I was a little worried. But so, do I lose some seed? Maybe it doesn't germinate because I don't cover it? Maybe. But how much do I lose if I cover it with a Hera or something like a lot of us do on our plots? Now, if I had a cultipacker, which I will have on my place one day. I just ain't got around to getting one. Yes, I've covered more seed with that, on my parents' place and stuff than anything else. But man, look, you plant right before rain, let that rain beat that seed in, you're not gonna have it. Especially when you go with like the big three, those stuff. I mean, ryegrass and wheat will come up in the back of your truck.
It was growing right here in the White Rock.
That is an actual good point. So not only in behind my house, I had a couple bags of Trophy Acre, and what do we have? That summer mix. Here, I can look on here.
I'm not sure.
We had one of the summer mixes from Backwoods.
It was 2 or 3 different products, and every one of them was coming up in the White Rock.
Yeah, so we had White Rock right behind my house, and there it is, Bachelor Pad. No, was it Bachelor Pad?
I think so, actually.
Yeah, Bachelor Pad. Okay. So anyway, we had it behind my house, and when we were loading it up and stuff going to Missouri, was of course a little seed spilled out. I had to spray Roundup behind my house because I had so much backwoods coming up in the rocks right behind my house. And it's actually, the Roundup didn't kill some of that stuff. It's pretty hardy, so it's still some of it back there. I'm sure after this rain we're going to get tomorrow, it'll be coming up that much more. If you're like me and you like to play with different products, I like to do it all in one field. So maybe if one food product doesn't work as good in a field, like they don't like it as much, you're not messing up that field. Now, if you have a small field, like a buddy of mine planted heavy rape in September a couple years ago just for bow season. Had incredible luck with it, man. Just deer coming out really tender. Usually this time of year, a lot of stuff's brittle and nasty. Had a lot of luck with those Barrett. And he's been on the podcast before. He's a deer killer. Killed him a good deer the other day. A lot of people in the South where I'm at, they love to plant in September. Oh, man, I'm going to plant in September, bow hunt over it. It's all good when it works out good, but good Lord, it seems like every year, September, early October is dry as a bone, just like it is right now. If I had to recommend, a recommended plant date for Southwest Mississippi and the Felicianas, within 2 hours of Centerville, Mississippi, I'd be mid-October, man. I'd have my ground ready in early October, and I'd be sitting there waiting on, watching the Weather Channel every day, as us hunters do. And when I saw that rain coming, get that seed out. It's going to be hard to beat. Now, a lot of people are not as fortunate as me. I can kind of make my own schedule. If you only got to do it on Saturday and Sunday, I get it, man. I feel you. But don't put your seed, and this is Slade's opinion, don't put your seed in the ground because it's the time of the year. Put your seed in the ground when the soil's right and the weather's right.
Yeah, and it's a lot different, here than where I'm from in Northeast Louisiana.
You got a lot better soil.
Yeah, and it's, it holds a lot more moisture year round, so you're not dependent on the rain quite as much, and it's just a lot different.
And that's going to be for a lot of the country, but either way, if you pull up your 15-day forecast and it don't have any little blue marks, which means rain, any on that 15-day forecast,
you're going to burn it up.
Do not. I don't care how wet your soil is. You got to get some rain at some point in the first 10 days, that product being in the ground, or it needs to. Now, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but don't be mad at Backwoods or Whitetail Institute or Buckbusters or whoever you play. Don't be mad at them when you put seed in the ground when no rain's in the forecast. Oh, and my food plots don't look good. And, if it sits in there 2 and 3 weeks without rain, you're going to lose some seeds, or some of it's going to germinate and then die off, get stunted, Or, you can have turkeys or deer or hogs, like a lot of this product with the wheat in it. Them hogs will go out there, or doves or whatever, wood ducks, wood duck, everything will go out there and eat that wheat. And, so if you don't see any rain in the forecast, don't blame your food plot company when your stuff doesn't come up. Fortunately around here, we can hunt over feed early season, so we don't have to rely on the food plots. And if you want to bow hunt over something, I would bow hunt. I would plant a summer product, in June, July, August, depending on what you're doing. I would do that and plan on bow hunting other than plant my fall food plots early, because your fall food plots are what we're going to mainly hunt over and rely on, especially down here in the South when our rut's going to be in December and January. You want them food plots, you want them does and big mamas in there heavy in December and January. And the only way to do that is to have a good fall food plot. And man, look, if you don't have any rain in forecast, I've planted in November before. Not a problem if you got rain coming. I mean, if you've got like that big 3 mix in any of those and you get a rain, in 3 weeks, you got huntable grass.
Yeah, it shouldn't take it long if you've got
and then it's coming. And, so primarily early October, but, whenever the rain says it's coming, man. And look, and I tell you what, old farmers have been doing this way longer than Slade and Caleb and all these deer hunters out here listening have been doing it. And they'll tell you, I got 2 of the biggest farmers in the county are right next to me, and they don't even think about putting ryegrass in the ground or grass, as they say, until mid-October. They don't even think about it.
Well, look, we're getting rain tomorrow. We've been riding up and down these roads literally every day. And when we rode up and down them today, I noticed all them fields were disced up. Yep. There's a reason, that they're just now disking them up. And
they are not doing it to kill a deer. They're doing it to make a living and feed their cows. So they're going to be smart about when they do it. They're going to time it right, and they're going to put their money where their mouth is, and that's exactly why they do it mid-October. So, to conclude this thing, what to plant, it's going to different in every area. Now, I'll tell you, any area I've ever hunted in, deer love wheat. Kansas, anywhere they love wheat. Pretty much anywhere up north, your big leaf, your turnips, your radishes, your sugar beets, things like that, like a trophy acre or or sugar rush. I like the sugar rush because it got so many turnips in it. And dude, up there in the Midwest, they love them turnips.
It looked like she had a dang head of lettuce.
And dude, it's like that. It's crazy. And so that's what we like up there. But the wheat, like in Kansas, those big wheat fields will absolutely fill up with deer. So those are with some turnips and some wheat, you're gonna be goody there. Now, when you get down the south, I still like the big 3. Ryegrass, wheat, and oats. Now, speaking of ryegrass, not all ryegrass is not created equal. So if you say, Slade, I'm planting ryegrass. Well, if you're going to go cheap and plant ryegrass, plant like a tetraploid or Evelyn ryegrass. It's a better ryegrass than your straight old ryegrass that the cheapest ryegrass you can get. If you're going to take the time to buy expensive hunting license, buy expensive corn, spend the time, get you a good food plot product out there. Feed these deer. Like I said, I love to throw the clover in there too with the big 3. And I was planting big 3 before big 3 was a product. I was planting that and mixing it myself, and so was a lot of other people. So don't overthink this stuff. And look, call me or shoot me an email, or I'll help you. I love to help people with stuff like this and get results. Now, this is all I ask. If you email me or text me or hit me up on social media, if I help you, tell me how it worked. I'm trying to learn here. I'm trying to kill more rack bucks.
And send us pictures whenever you get them.
That's right. Well, Caleb and I are fixing to get out here. I'm going to shoot my bow a little bit. We're headed to Kansas later this week and hopefully kill a big rack buck. I would say heading to a wheat field. He's probably going to be heading to some corn because they've had no rain out there. They don't have wheat in the ground yet. So, hey, we'll shoot them over corn, over wheat, on a trail, on road.
We just shoot them.
Just shoot them, bro. All right, we're going to get out of here. Caleb, if you'll hit that little blue button down there, I'm going to go shoot my bow real quick. Y'all have a blessed day.